Hi everyone, I'm Johanna. So my report is all about KARKITS Corporation, which requires three requirements. First, the audit adjusting entries. Second, the trial balance. And the last one is the computation of the following accounts. So, audit of adjusting entries. So, number one. So, currency and coins, 60,000 pesos. Petty cash vouchers, all dated in 2018, except for 1,500, which exists in 2019. And there's an employees post-dated checks, 3,000 pesos. So debit advances to officers and employees, 3,000 pesos. Marketing and administrative expense, 4,500, and credit petty cash fund, 7,500. So the marketing and administrative expense is only 4,500 because 6,000 currency and coins is deducted by 1,500, which exists in 2019. So that's why we will debit marketing and administrative expense 4,500. Number 2. So number 2 consists of letter A, B, and C. So A, customer's check returned by the bank marked DAIF in December 2018, redeposited in January 2019, 35,000 pesos. So accounts receivable, 35,000 pesos, and cash in bank, 35,000 pesos. Letter B, a bank credit memo representing collection by bank from one of the company's major customer. So since the bank has received money, so they have cash in bank, 40,000 pesos, and accounts receivable, 40,000 pesos. So letter E, the company wrote several checks at the end of 2018. So cash in bank again for 48,300, and credit accounts payable, since it is stated in here that the company wrote several checks in accounts payable that were held and not mailed until January 25, 2019. So adjustment number 3. So that trading securities portfolio of KARKITS Corporation contained securities and unrealized gain on securities. So we will debit trading securities 20,000 and credit unrealized gain on trading securities. Adjustment number 4. Letter A. Advances to officers and employees, 120,000. So this amount will be debited, and credit accounts receivable, 120,000 pesos. So number 4, letter B, we will debit sales, 625,000 pesos, inventories, 500,000 pesos, and credit two accounts, which are accounts receivable, 625,000 pesos, and cost of goods sold, 500,000 pesos. Adjustment number 5. So the goods cost 26,000 pesos and were received by the customer on January 8, 2018. So this will be letter A, adjustment. Inventories, 26,000 pesos, and that will be debited, and credit cost of goods sold. So letter B, adjustment. The sale was properly recorded in 2019. An invoice of goods costing 35,000 was received and recorded as purchase on December 31, 2018. So we will debit accounts payable, 35,000 pesos, and credit cost of goods sold, 35,000 pesos. So letter C, goods costing 27,000 pesos were received from a vendor on January 5, 2019. So we will record this, debit inventories 27,000 and credit accounts payable 27,000 pesos. Adjustment number 6. The prepaid insurance account contains the premium cost of two policies. Policy A, cost of 13,200 for 2 years. Policy B, cost of 16,200 in 3 years. So we will debit marketing and administrative expense 6,200 pesos, and also debit prepaid insurance 650,000 pesos. 6,250,000 pesos. I mean, we will credit it. Adjustment number 7. So the property, plant, and equipment account of the company is composed of the following: land and building 8,600,000 pesos, furnitures and pictures 2,177,000 pesos, leasehold improvement 168,000 pesos, total of 10,945,000 pesos. So the adjustment entries are: we have to debit 3 accounts: the land, the building, and other income. Since padunga na to. Debit land amounting 1,864,000 pesos, building 7,606,000 pesos, other income 30,000 pesos, and credit land and building 8,600,000 pesos, and also credit marketing and administrative expense 900,000 pesos. So that is a letter A adjustment. So letter B, marketing and administrative expense will be debited amounting 166,800. Credit accumulated depreciation building 150,000 pesos, and also credit accumulated depreciation leasehold improvements amounting 6,800 pesos. So number 8 adjustment. A franchise agreement was acquired at the beginning of 2018 for 500,000 pesos. No amortization has been recorded for 2018. So the 500,000 will be divided by 10 years. So we have 50,000. So debit and marketing and administrative expense 50,000 pesos, and credit accumulated amortization franchise 50,000 pesos. Adjustment number 9. The company's licensing agreement account has a balance of 216,000 pesos. So the original amount was 360,000 pesos and is being amortized on 5-year basis starting on January 2016. So we will debit marketing and administrative expense 72,000 pesos. So amortize na ning amount ta. And the licensing agreement 144,000 pesos. So the credit amount will be the accumulated amortization licensing agreement, which is 216,000 pesos. Number 10. So accounts payable in the loan amounting 126,000 pesos, and since we will pay the loan, so we will credit accounts payable 126,000 pesos. So the marketing and administrative expense, we will debit 50,000 pesos and credit accrued expense 50,800 pesos. So number 11. Rent was received from a tenant in December 2018. So the amount of 130,000 was recorded as income at that time, even though the rental pertains to 2019. So the rent is considered as other income. So we will debit other income 130,000 pesos and credit unearned revenue 130,000 pesos. Since it was received in 2018. So number 12 adjustment. The mortgage on land and building assumed by the company is payable in installment of 500,000 every January 1, starting in January 1, 2019. So there's an interest 20% per annum is payable semi-annually every January 1 and July 1. So we have two adjusting entries. So we will compute the interest expense. So we will get we will get the interest expense by multiplying the principal to the interest of 20%. So we have 200,000 pesos. So interest expense, debit 200,000 pesos, and credit interest payable 200,000 pesos. So letter B, mortgage payable 500,000 pesos, debit and credit current portion of long-term debit 500,000 pesos. So number 13, adjustment. The bonds payable represented a 9% from 2 million pesos face value bonds which were issued on January 1, 2014 to yield 10%. So in this we will debit interest expense 187,800. So the interest payable is 180,000 pesos, and the discount on bonds payable is 7,800. So we get the discount on bonds payable by multiplying the 10% to the interest expense. So we have 7,800 pesos. So it will be credited. Number 14, adjustment. The company is subject to 30% income tax rate. So income, multiply the 30% before income tax rate. So we will debit income tax payable 127,126 pesos and credit income tax expense 127,126 pesos. So shown below is the working paper of KARKITS Corporation for the year ended December 31, 2018. So in trial balance column, I just copy all the amounts as is. And in the adjustment column, harang gipangkopya tanang amounts from my adjusting entries. I just put all the amounts in their following accounts. So now let's proceed to the profit or loss column. So in the profit or loss column, we have to put the sales, which is 31,589,000 pesos. That will be credited. Debit, cost of goods sold 17,606,300 pesos. Marketing and administrative expenses 8,368,650 pesos. So that will be debited. Credit other income, credit interest expense, which is 792,120 pesos. Also credit income tax expense 1,458,579. So last amount, unrealized gain on trading securities. So this will be credited, amounting 20,000 pesos. So the balance, debit 28,225,649 pesos. In credit 31,629,000 pesos. So that is our balances, but we have to add the income before tax in the debit column. So amounting 3,403,531. So total balance for both debit and credit 31,609,000 pesos. So before that, we I clearly state to credit the 3,403,351 pesos, debit 1,021,005 pesos and 30 centavos. So we have a profit of 2,382,100 345 pesos and 70 centavos. So both the total of debit and credit is 3,403,000 and 351 pesos. So in financial position column, in trial balance and in adjustment, gi-add na ho if both accounts are in debit and i-minus na ho if debit and credit. So in petty cash fund, sa trial balance, there's a debit 15,000 pesos. So since sa adjustment, there's a credit 7,500. So this will be subtracted. So 15,000 minus 7,500 is equal to 7,500. So since dako pa man ang debit nga side, so in financial position, debit, petty cash fund, 7,500. Same process down to all the accounts. Cash in bank, 296,900. Trading securities, 350,000 pesos. Accounts receivable, 2,758,000 pesos. So those four accounts are debited. And now let's proceed to credit accounts. Allowance for uncollectible accounts, 137,900 credited. Debit advances to officers and employees, 123,000 pesos. Prepaid insurance, 23,150 pesos. Property, plant, and equipment at cost, 10,945,000 pesos. And credit, accumulated depreciation of the property, plant, and equipment, amounting 870,300. Franchises, 500,000 pesos debit. Also debit licensing agreement, 360,000 pesos. And the credit accounts. Accounts payable, 2,204,200. Interest payable, 380,000 pesos. Accrued expenses, 648,820 pesos. And earned revenues, 130,000. All the accounts are credited. Income taxes payable, 66,239. Dividends payable, 1,250,000 pesos. Current portion of long-term debt, 500,000 pesos. Mortgage payable, 1,500,000. Bonds payable, 2 million. Debit account, discount on bonds payable, 114,200. Credit ordinary share capital, 5 million. Credit additional paid in capital, 1,350,000 pesos. Credit retained earnings in January 1, 2018, 2,867,840. Also, credit accumulated amortization franchise, 50,000. Accumulated amortization licensing agreement, 216,000 pesos. Also credited. Accounts payable, De Leon, 126,000 pesos. Land and building, credit, 8,600,000. Income tax payable, 1,021,005 and 30 centavos. So we have a profit of 2,382,345 and 70 centavos. So all add in both columns. So we have a total balance account, debit and credit, 31,300,000 pesos and 650 pesos.